Hello. I hope everyone is doing well. We need to be careful about the people that we allow into our space. I say this all the time. My ex, one of my exes called me today and he disrupted my spirit so much. So much that it caused me to snap on this young lady at the grocery store. And though she did something that was, in my opinion, a little bit out of line, it wasn't that serious. It wasn't that serious. He called and he wants to talk to me about past things. Why I did this or why I did that. Basically, he doesn't understand why the relationship is over. And when he calls, it's always basically I didn't give him a chance. Now I was with this man. I was with him 2 years. I still, gave him an opportunity, even though we wasn't together, I still allow him to try to show me the things that he could be, what he needed to be for the relationship to be successful in a relationship. So altogether, that's 4 years. 4 years of my life that I gave to you, and you still didn't get it right. So it had gotten to a point where it was just like, I don't even want to be your friend because being your friend is costly too. So I had to block his number, so everything, like just to try to get him, like we done did everything that we can do. There's nothing else that you can do, and there's nothing else that I'm going to do for this relationship or lack thereof. So when he called me today, he was so angry. Um, I didn't give him a chance and answer me this. Why you couldn't allow me to come over there and stay with you when I needed somewhere to stay and do this and do that. And I'm like, why would I do that? When I was in your corner, you couldn't even see the sacrifices that I was making to try to be there for you in the relationship and when we was just friends. Now that I've just had enough, when they had gotten to the point where I had enough, why would I don't want you in my space. I don't want you in my space. So it was a whole process of me getting away from him, right? And some days, he of course he has a next number. Some days he cool, you know. He called and check up on me, so on and so forth. Cool. This particular day, mm-mm. Nope. He want to be bringing up all this old stuff and talking all this old stuff and oh, basically I was never there. If I was never there for you, why you want to be back in a relationship with me? If I was nothing good for you, why do you want to be back in a relationship with me? And it had gotten so, because my okay. So my mom was having a little financial issue, and when my mother hurt, it hurts me. So it hurt me because what she needs from me, I'm not able to provide it for her right now. And that was the beginning of, you know, some of my spirit like just getting a little weak because I don't want to see her in any hardships. And it pains me to see her hurting in any way. And when I can't assist, that really, really hurts me. So I'm dealing with that. You call me with this dumb stuff that I do not want to talk about, don't want to hear, so on and so forth, and you keep going on and on and on and on and on. And not only that, I tell you I don't want to talk about it. I hang up on you. You keep calling my phone back. So now you irritating me. It's just getting irritating to me. I got to the point where I had blocked my number, but see, the devil done worked on me enough, but blocked his number. But the devil had worked on me so much so that now I'm dealing with my mom's stuff. I'm dealing with you and your stupid stuff, and you calling me and you just adding stuff onto what I'm dealing with. Now I get up to the register and this young lady take and slide my mother's cereal across the conveyor belt. And I'm like, that thing is dirty. I don't even like sitting my food on it. Right? And so when she did it, all I'm thinking about is all the million and one germs that you done slid up on my mother's daggone cereal box because you did. And it made me angry. It just made me so mad. And I was like, I can't remember exactly what I said, but I was like, why would you do that? I said, that's dirty. I said, all the germs on there, you going to slide it across there. You need to respect my food. If I sit it up there, it wasn't even my food. But if I sit it up there, the least you could do is pick it up and sit it where you would like it. You just going to slide it across the belt. And she was like, well, it ain't that serious, man. I said, it's that serious to me. I'm already not in a good space. Now, I knew I wasn't in a good space because I said I wasn't in a good space. And yet, I still allowed the devil to work on me. And she talking, and I'm just like, whatever. And in my mind, I'm just like looking at her like, girl, you just don't know all the things that's going through me right now. So it wasn't funny when it happened, but it was so funny because she had stopped talking, which in turn, made me stop talking. As long as you got something to say, I'm going to remind you of how displeased I am because your job is to service me. So she, it was very short lived because she realized that she wasn't winning. And actually, neither one of us won. But I didn't know that when that little brief 30 seconds was going on. So basically, she had went through and, apologized. I went to get the next cereal because my mother wasn't going to take that cereal with her. And we pay for our food. So now while I'm sitting there and I'm at the end of it, and see, this is what God does for you. The devil, he has all his things that he do, and he try to get into you, but God has a way of bringing you back to your reality. So I'm standing there and I'm just so angry because not because of what she did, really, it's all the other stuff that transpired before she even did that. So I pay for my mother to give me the car. I pay for the food. So I get the receipt. She went and she handed me the receipt, and I went to grab the receipt, and she was like, "Thank you. Have a good day," and it killed me. And I looked at her and I said, "You're welcome. You have a good day as well." And I walked over there to bag my mother's groceries up, and the whole time I'm standing there, I'm feeling like a complete idiot because I realized how stupid it was and how unwarranted it was and how I could have handled that situation in a totally different way. But because I was dealing with other stuff, I allowed that little minor thing, and it was in fact minor because the same way I went and walked to get another box of cereal, I could have did that in the beginning and just left that cereal there and thought nothing of it. See, that's why I say no one person is better than the other one because we all being worked on and we all are sinners and we gonna keep making mistakes. Even through our process of striving to be better, it's still gonna be things. It's still going to be days. It's still going to be moments. So we have to be mindful of that. So I'm standing there and I'm just feeling so much remorse. So I went and turned around to see if she was still at the register because I knew in my spirit, in my soul, that the only way I was going to be whole again if I apologized to her. But she had walked away from the register. So I went and I took my mother outside, but that wasn't, I couldn't leave it like that. So I went back into the store to apologize to her, but I couldn't find her. So I asked the security guard. Now, when I walked over to the security guard, he looking like, the look on his face is like, man, I know she ain't about to start that. But but I mean, because My voice got loud. Not that the situation got really big. It's just that my voice had gotten a little loud because I was just angry. Um, and like I said, not at her. Um, it pisses me off, right? When people do things. When people do things to you, and all you try to do is help them, and what they want to do is flip it like you're the root of all of their problems, like you're the root of every issue that they've ever had. It really makes me mad about that, because all I try to do is help people. And when you come back to me like I've done you such an injustice, sometimes I gotta look. And then for you to say that, now you bringing up old memories, right? For you to be talking all this reckless stuff, you bringing up old memories. Now those feelings that I'm feeling from all of those 4 years that I invested into that relationship or lack thereof, now that's coming back to me. And I'm realizing how much time I even wasted on yours. And that's pissing me off. That's making me mad. That's burning me up inside, right? And all I want you to do is leave me alone, And it's getting to the point now where I just want to change my number, because I realize that that's the only way I'll be left alone is if I change my number. Because as long as you have that number, you'll always be able to call me from any phone, anywhere, at any time. Now, just because I blocked his number today means nothing. He'll find somebody else's number to call me from. You know, he'll get another phone and call me from that number. Is that serious? So basically, so the security guard, he was looking like, oh Lord. So I said, you know what? I said, I really would like to talk to that young lady that was at the register, because I want to apologize to her, because I realized that I was out of line, and it wasn't that serious. Um, so when he heard that, it was like I can see his body calming, and he was like, well, I don't know. He was like, which one was it? And I told him which register, and then so he was looking around to see if he saw her. And he asked me to describe her. I guess he couldn't really remember who was at the register. I don't know. But he was like, okay, yeah, yeah. So he had walked around a little bit, and he was like, I don't, and I walked with him. And we didn't see him. The store not but so big. It's a whole minute long. The Aldi that we the yeah. So anyway, I guess she had went to break room or wherever she had went. I mean, I would probably need a second too. If somebody just came off of me all aggressive because I slid their cereal across the thing, which is really not a big deal. Like I said, it only became a big deal because of everything else that was on my mind. And then me thinking about them germs, and I'm just like, oh no, I don't do germs. I don't do dirt. I don't like dirt. I don't like, oh my God. Certain things about me, it just turned me all the way off. And that's one of them. That is one of them. I don't like putting my food on that conveyor belt. I really do not. But I have no choice. I have no choice. Either I'm going to hold everything, leave it in the cart, and hand it to you as you do it. But it's everywhere you go is germs. Everywhere. In the cart, germs. Everywhere there's germs. Um, so it was solely me, and we couldn't find her, and I had to ask the guy. I said, please let her know that I came back in here to apologize to her because it was not that serious. And God had weighed down so heavy on my heart and my soul, and he was like, Monica. And all I swear, when I got back in the car and I couldn't apologize, I was mad about that. And, I was mad about that. I was like, please forgive me. I had to ask God to forgive me. Please forgive me. I realized it wasn't that serious. And my mother, I had been listening to what happened with this stabbing over this Popeye's chicken sandwich, and my mother had happened because my phone was in the car and I had it on Bluetooth. She had happened to read the caption that was on there, and she was like, I can't believe that somebody gonna kill somebody over a sandwich. And so I had to explain to her that, mommy, it wasn't even about the sandwich. I said, just like that situation had happened with me, it was everything else that was happening, everything else that had happened, everything else that I was going through and dealing with, and her doing that just added to it, and it just got out of hand. And I said, I don't think it was ever about the sandwich why that happened. I think it was the person who did it has been going through so many other things. And then we all had this whole thing about respect myself. Because I remember when the girl said the thing, I was like, you need to respect people's food, and you do, you know. You don't want to just throw nobody's stuff. That is disrespectful. So you do. So we all dealing with this whole thing about respect. Not only that, we got all these other issues that we're dealing with in our day to day life. You know, you never know what a person is dealing with. Um, and so that was just like on top of everything else, you do that. Now I'm trying to deal with my feelings, and that just kind of like sent me over. And and when I was listening to the news report, it's like it started in the store and then they go outside instead of somebody diffusing that situation so that it wouldn't keep escalating. Because in fact, the more you keep talking, the more people keep saying something, the more you dwell on a situation that's negative, any situation, even a positive one. But see, we ain't gonna talk about positive because we want to keep on dwelling on the positive so we can keep on soaring and have all these positive results. But the more you dwell on negative, the more negative it grows in you. And I'm telling you, anger can grow, and it grows fast. It grows fast. And that negative energy will explode. And before you know it, you done something that you had no intention of doing. I'm pretty sure when it started, that was not the intention for it to go the way that it went. But as long as you fueling that, as long as you throwing coals on that fire, as long as you putting fluid on that fire, it's going to keep on growing and growing. And at some point, it's going to grow out of control. And that's in fact what happened with the guy in that Popeye sandwich, because I truly honestly believe that it was not his intent. Like, he didn't go in it with the intent. Like, no, no. It was some level of disrespect that he felt like he had gotten, and that's what sparked the whole conversation about it. And then the other guy, you're not gonna disrespect me. And then when you're around people, sometimes that whole ego thing gets big. It gets really, really, really big. Um, and you get blindsided, or you just shut everything out, and all you see is just, hey, what you did to me, and I don't like it, and hey, we gonna fix it one way or the other. So basically, we have to start learning how to deal with our issues. We have to learn how to internalize things and how to put things in perspective. We have to learn how to not allow things get the best of us. We have to figure out ways of dealing with our issues. I swear we do. Now, I mean, had it been a couple of hours later, that would have never happened. But the fact that I was already dealing with my mother issue, and it's all in the same amount of same time frame. She talking about that. Then we go in the store. Then he called while we in the store. Then that happened, and it's just like piling up, piling up, piling up, and it's no good. And we really have to be better about that, and we really have to get in tune with self. And even the most in tune person snap sometimes and do things that's out of their character. Okay, no, there's no perfect person, but the fact that we know now, had I taken a moment, because I had already said that I'm not in a good headspace right now, that my spirit not really where it need to be. Had I listened to myself make that statement, then I would have realized that I need to just stop, reprogram, and try this thing one more time. Right? But I wasn't. I wasn't listening because my level of consciousness was not where it needed to be. My level of understanding was not where it needed to be because the devil had used him to work on me. In that short period of time that he and I had spoken, he had used him to work on me. He was like, you know what, Monica, she up there and I need to bring her down. This is what we're going to do to bring her down. And it in fact worked. It worked. But God knew that it was not my intention. So he put her in a position. See? He put her in a position to be humble, to humble herself and do the right thing. And part of her doing the right thing was apologizing. Part of her doing the right thing was not to hold a grudge against me or feel any way against me, because when she finished my transaction, she did not have to say, thank you, have a good day. She did not have to say that. She did not have to say that because in my opinion, I was the aggressor. I was the aggressor. And I was oppressing her. She just trying to do her job. She made a mistake in doing it, but she was just trying to do her job. So that just shows my imperfection, shows all of our imperfection, because we all do it at some point of time. It may be a different situation, but we all do it. We take our angers out on other people that have nothing to do with what's really going on. And we have to really think about that. I could have said something in a more polite way, or I couldn't have said anything at all. I could have just went and got another box of cereal. It was a whole lot of ways that could have been handled differently. But we just need to start dealing with our issues, and we need to really be putting things on the table and focusing on what our real issues are and dealing with them accordingly. Dealing with them accordingly and get these toxic people away from us, because the devil love to use them to get to you. Because I swear, it's like yeah, she a little too happy. I don't like that. Let me send so and so over there to disrupt her spirit. And so, they all for it and don't even know they being used. Don't even know they being used. You know. So we have to be mindful of that. That he gonna send people all the time, and we have to keep having this conversation of being mindful and conscious of the devil and his people and how they come and the different ways they come, because it happens on a daily basis. And if our defense is down, he got us. He knew my defense was down with the situation with my mother. He knew my defense was down because he know how strongly I feel about her, and how, I want to take on every burden she had. But hey, I swear, I don't want her to want for nothing. But it's just me. I'm just one person, and I can't do everything. Unfortunately, I wish I could. I wish I was in, I we ain't even gonna get into that. We ain't even gonna get into that, but my defenses was down. I was weak. I was at a point of vulnerability, and he saw that, and he used somebody else to come in and get me more off track. And then so when that happened, I just reacted without thinking clearly, understanding clearly, and she was kind of like a younger girl, so she may not. I'm pretty sure she didn't know that you don't just be throwing people's food around. I'm pretty sure she didn't know that, but she ain't really throw it. She just slid it. Every time I think about it, I'm just like, ugh, cause all them daggone germs on there, the meat leak on there, y'all don't clean those things off properly. You don't. You need to, but you don't. And I don't want that all over my stuff. No, my mother stuff is my stuff. She got to remind me how much her stuff ain't my stuff sometimes. And that's part of my problem, that I take on her stuff so much and make it my stuff. And, it's a lot of stuff for one person to be dealing with. It's a lot of stuff. Yeah, so anyway, I just wanted to give you that briefly. Just to share something with you. This guy told me, he was like, asked me what was wrong with me. He said that I be too serious, and in his words, I need to cheer up. And I'm like, I feel cheery. But when I speak about certain things, I'm depending on what it is, I can't be cheery talking about something that's serious. I gotta be serious. I can't be cheery talking about something that's sad. I gotta be sad. Like my spirit just move with that. My emotion move with that. I'm moved by that. So I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna work on that. But lately I've been on a more serious tip. I really have. Um, I don't know why. It just is my season is for that right now. And I transition through this, through that, and this is a lot of things that I want to talk about. Um, but you got to be ready for the spirit that's gonna come with it because some of the things are really, really, really painful. So I can't be happy talking about painful stuff. I'm sorry, I just can't. Um, it just don't go together. They don't gel. So yeah, um, but on a lighter note, we need to be conscious of what we're going through on a daily basis and things that make us tick, so that we won't be out here lashing out on people that don't deserve it because they slid because they slid out cereal over the conveyor belt and then realize that was that's not a felony, that's a misdemeanor. But all right, y'all have a good night. I just wanted to put that out there. I really wanted to put that out there because small situations can turn big, really big, if we're not careful and if we're not in tune with ourselves and what we're going through, and we don't talk ourselves down and put God in the forefront. Tell Him that, because I should have asked Him when the situation was confronted, when I was confronted with the situation with my mom. I should have stopped and said a prayer for Him to take that away from me and help me to deal with that and lead me and guide me in that situation. And therefore, I would have had a shield of armor around me. A shield of armor around me that could not have been penetrated by anything or anyone. So we need to be mindful of that, and we need to always remember who to call when we going through these situations that we cannot handle, that's out of our control. Because we do not want those things to escalate. We do not. We do not. We are working and striving. And even sitting here now, if I go, I remember her face. If I go in there next time, because I always go to that store. Um, yeah, I'm gonna make sure that I personally apologize. I really am. That is not beneath me. It is so above me, you know, to apologize. It makes me a better person. It really makes me a better person. I do not want to be that person. And I mean, just when I think about it, I just feel stupid. You know, like you knew better. You knew better. So anyway, y'all have a good one. I have other work to do. So I'll be getting at y'all soon. Please stay mindful of everything that we talk about. Please stay mindful that we all make mistakes. Please stay mindful that we all are trying, striving individuals, and things will happen. But we have to move through those things, and we have to acknowledge our position. We have to acknowledge what we did wrong, take acceptance for it, and make changes so that we will not keep making the same mistakes. It is very, very, very important. Okay? I love y'all so much, and I'll be getting at y'all soon. All right, MJK.